Hi, it is I, Akiba Johnson. Yes, that Akiba Johnson, the one who wrote the book The Protectors, Book 1, Child of the Prophecy. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. All right, so I am doing this video in response to something that was sent to me. It was a couple of questions, and I kind of felt like all the questions was kind of going in the same direction. I guess maybe trying to figure out how do I do my thing. So I'll read to you the questions and then I'll go ahead and commence into arguing. I mean, not arguing, not arguing. I'll commence to answering them. And then also, I just wanted to put in my little 2 cents of what I think about the questions and everything else like that. And I'll do that just after. And of course, the phone rings. Um, um, Question 1, where do I write and draw? Question 2, what's the best setup for writing? And 3, what equipment do you use to write and draw? Um, all right, so let's start with where do I write and draw? All right, so usually I'm out here in my studio. It's a really, really rainy day today, but somebody left a message too. Wow. Um, anyway, I'm usually out here in the studio, and this is where most of the magic happens. I like to keep my little inspiring frog that I've been having since I was a little toddler. Um, and I just come out here. Now, this is where I write, but I don't necessarily say this. You have to have a space solely set aside for writing and drawing or whatever your genre is, whatever, you know, your studio is going to be set up to do. But this is my writing studio, and it just have to be a space you're comfortable in. Okay. What I like about this space is that it's pretty large. Echo. It's pretty big. It's pretty open, and I decorated it myself. So it has all my inspiring things in it. It has exactly what I need to feel woo, comfortable as a writer. Excuse me, that was quite a sneeze. It has everything that I need to feel comfortable as a writer. And so this is where I write. Um, what's the best setup for writing? Okay. Um, I'm not sure if you're talking about hardware or software or um, what you're talking about in that question because it's kind of like open ended. But for me, I use old fashioned methods like the pen and pad. Plus, I also use the newer stuff like I'll use my tablet to write, my computer. And this question is the one I really didn't understand the most. What's the best setup for writing? I would say whatever equipment you're comfortable with and whatever location you're comfortable in is the best setup for writing. Okay? Because it's not the setup that's going to make you write or not write or be a good writer or be a bad writer. It's you being able to bring the story from out of your brain onto a media that everybody else can read. That is what makes you a good writer, being able to tell the story that you have in your head. Um, Number 3, what equipment do you use? And I was thinking that maybe I'll be answering number 2 by answering number 3 because number 3 is kind of a long one. What equipment do I use for writing and drawing? We'll start with the writing. Um, I like a good old-fashioned composition book because it gives you some space right here to write in. Like you can put in the Protected Child and Prophecy, Chapter 1, and you can write out everything before you decide to put it into the computer. This is a good on the go if you're going to be writing while you're out and about or in the car or whatever. So I still like that old-fashioned method. I also use all the other methods because um, being from my generation, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but being from my particular generation, it means that I have the beauty of being able to appreciate the old-fashioned ways of doing stuff, the the pen and paper, the pen and pad, um, and yet being able to transition into the newer things like all this fancy equipment that's out now. Now, I have the Samsung um, Galaxy A. Um, and what I like about the Samsung Galaxy A is that you can actually download, where is it? You can actually download, I don't know if you can see this, but the Microsoft apps. So I like Microsoft Word to write in. So when I'm writing, I could get my tablet out, and then I even have a keyboard. I don't keep it on my tablet usually, but this is the keyboard. And if I want to hook it up, then I just take the tablet out of that container, put it in this container, and that gives me a keyboard when I'm writing. And the other thing that I like to write with is a nice program that I have that I've been using for many generations that they've been having it. This is, ooh la la, the Dragon Naturally Speak. Oh, there we go. Dragon Naturally Speaking. What I like about Dragon Naturally Speak is you put your headphones on and you just kind of talk out your stories. Now, it's good when I've written out everything in here and I just want to put it from pad to computer. So I'll just open up my my Microsoft Words, and just go blah, 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 and put it directly into the computer from my composition book. The other thing that I like Dragon Naturally Speak for is if I'm on a long road trip, I actually will write while I'm driving. What I'll do is I'll put the computer in the seat next to me, set it up, put the headphones on, and I'll just talk out the entire story. 5 hours later, I've written a couple of chapters. All I have to do is go back through and edit everything, and it works out for me. So I like the Dragon Naturally Speak. Another piece of equipment I like is my printer. Sometimes, especially when I get to the editing stages of things, I do like to print out um, my my chapters, and then what I'll do is I'll print out everything, and then I'll take it with me 1 or 2 chapters at a time, and I'll go through and I'll edit through it. That way, when I get a chance to get back on the computer, I'll already have it edited. Then I just transfer what I've done on my printed paper. I'll just transfer that onto the computer. So it makes a really simple and easy way of doing it. All right. Thirdly, let's get to inspiration. This is my little boom speaker. And what I usually do is I just hook my little speaker up to my phone. You plug this into the computer for power, but because it's rechargeable. and then I could play my music. And usually it depends on what kind of mood I am or what part of the book I'm on, what I'm listening to. I'll tell you just quickly a couple of the things that I usually listen to when I'm writing. I like, which is fairly new, but it's been what I'm listening to lately. Um, Tyrese Gibson, his new Black Rose. I've been listening to that CD as I'm writing book 2 of the Protectors. But when I was writing book 1, I'll tell you what I listened to a lot. I listened to a lot of The Joker. He's on YouTube as well, but I like listening to his music when I'm writing, or if I get stuck and I turn off and I walk away from the computer or my pad or whatever I'm working on and I'm just pacing the floor for a minute, I'll turn up the music real loud and kind of just like bug out, I guess, to it. And it gets me through my, whatever, whatever I'm going through. So this little piece of equipment is super awesome. All right. So to drawing, we go with old fashioned and new fashioned. All right. So the old fashioned is I still pull out my sketchbook. I had some papers that weren't attached still. My sketchbook, and I just basically get either pencil or charcoal, and I still do old-fashioned sketching in my sketchbook. I like the larger sketchbook. Before I had a smaller one, and it worked fine. It was very portable, and that was a good thing. However, man, it is raining arms and legs out there. It was very portable and everything, but when I started drawing on this really large one, which is 11 by 14, um, it was just awesome. All right, so let's show you the new school. So I additionally draw with this thing right here, and it's just, you draw here and the image appears on the computer, and you're like, look at me, I'm drawing. Yay, I'm drawing. And you just draw. Um, it's really cool. It has this little thing that to me kind of looks like a weird cross between an inkwell and an ashtray. But it's to hold your extra tips here in the bottom for your electronic pencil. And it's for having somewhere to rest your pencil. You just plug this thing into the computer and program it for that, and it'll be able to receive all the information from your electric pad to go onto your computer. I like to do editing after I've drawn on that. Then I'll scan those images using the printer scanner. Scan those images into the computer, and then I can go through, add background, do whatever editing I need to do using my little doodad. So that's what I use. A little bit of old school, a little bit of new school. Also, I was going to say, I'm a fan of Kindle. Obviously, that's who I published with, right? But you can get like a lot of, like that's Magna. Anyway, it's about, you can get instructional videos and stuff like that. I mean, instructional books on there. That's the Protectors in my lineup. All right, so you can get all kind of books all in one. So I recommend getting the Kindle because it allows you to be able to, and I'm closing all my programs that I just opened. It allows you to be able to have all your books in one location so that it's all saved on your tablet, so you can look at it from the tablet or from your smartphone, because I also can read um, those books on this Windows phone. So it all works out. Once you order a book on Amazon through Kindle, then you have access to all your Kindle books on all your devices. Like I read on my tablet, I read on my computer, the one that I'm recording on now, and I'm using my laptop. I don't think I mentioned laptop is another way that I draw and write. um, but I can read from Kindle, from the tablet, from the smartphone, and from the computer. Um, so I just like to mix the old with the new. Because we can't be afraid of like all this modern technology. It makes life so much easier so that we have like no excuses. But I guess I wanted to wrap the video up by saying it's not what equipment you have. It's not what location you write in. It's not what's the best setup. It's not what equipment I have. It's not where I write. Okay? What you have to do if you're going to write is find a place you feel comfortable writing. A place where you could be by yourself. A place where you could be free or feel free anyway. And then all you need from that is a pen and a pad. If you choose to use a tablet, then use a tablet. If you choose to use um, a program like this, or just type into the computer, or whatever thing is the easiest way for you to get your words out of your brain and out on some type of media, whether it be the old-fashioned pen to pad, composition books, or whatever. It's not really me telling you the right or wrong equipment to use. That's why the only brand that I mentioned was the Samsung Galaxy A. And the only reason I mentioned that one is because I don't know about the other tablets, but I know for sure with the Samsung Galaxy A, you can download Microsoft programming and have Microsoft Words, because I know a lot of people like to write in Words. That's what I write in. However, words is not the only way for you to write. And I guess my video is about me telling you it's not, if you're sitting around waiting for the perfect opportunity, or you're waiting for the perfect piece of equipment, or whatever you're waiting for to start writing, keep into consideration, it's not can I write, it's will I write. And if you will write, then you will write under whatever circumstances you're faced with. You will write on a rainy day. You will write even if you have to go to work later, then you'll just write a couple of paragraphs. You will write if all you have is a pencil and a piece of paper. You will write if all you have is a pen and a pad. If all you have is a tablet and don't own a computer. You will write if that's what you will yourself to do. But if you do it by can I write, can I? It's like as if you asking permission to do it. Do not ask can, ask yourself will. And then if the answer is yes, then you do it. Because when you will something, you just do it. You're not waiting for some great opportunity. You're not waiting for a stroke of luck. You're not waiting until you can save up and buy a computer and then you're going to start writing. That makes absolutely no sense to me. If you're going to write, go get a piece of paper and write. If you don't have a piece of paper, go get a napkin and start writing. If you don't have a napkin, write on the floor. If you're going to write, you're going to write. Period. So start from wherever you are. Don't worry about where do I write and draw. Find your place to write and draw. Okay? Even if your place is at Starbucks, and you just go into Starbucks and pull out a pen and pad, then that's your place to write. If your place is in your bedroom, then that's your place. If your place is sitting at the living room table or sitting at the dining room table or wherever you have a spot where you can be quiet by yourself, then do it there. If you have to make a corner in the garage, do it there. Wherever your place is, that's where you write. What's the best setup? Whatever you choose. Whatever you choose. What equipment do you use? Whatever you choose. There's no secret formula. There's no brand name that's going to get you into the Hall of Fame of writing. Is there a Hall of Fame? Anyway, you're not going to win no great awards because you use this equipment or that equipment when you started writing. Whatever works out for you. Maybe if I was a faster typist, I would need Dragon Naturally Speak, but I don't type super duper fast. So I like Dragon Naturally Speak. I like that I could just sit back and start chatting. And I do it. I like to do it. But if you're not a Dragon Naturally Speak kind of gal or guy, doesn't matter, then do what is comfortable for you. I hope that this video inspired you to understand that writing has nothing to do with equipment or location. That if you want to be a writer or an artist in any way whatsoever, even if it's singing or whatever is your art form, whatever media you choose to use, understand that you start from wherever you are and you are great or small based on the effort that you put forward. My name is Akiba Johnson. I'm the writer of the book, The Protector's Child of the Prophecy, and I hope this video inspires you to greatness. All right? This is my good pal, Ribbit. Take care, be good, and write on.